Hey Flosstube, it's Jo here and welcome to my 8th Flosstube video. Yeah, February, finished. It's like, I don't know what's going on with the weather in the UK at the moment, but we're at the end of February and it's like summer. It's just been glorious for like the last week. It's so hot. It's strange. I mean, we can normally have snow up until April, and yeah, everybody's walking around in t-shirts and shorts and sandals, and it's bizarre. It is so warm in here. I've not got any windows open or anything because I didn't want the traffic, because I live right next to a main road. So yeah, it's really warm. So I'd like to say a massive thank you to everybody for, you know, coming back and watching me. I mean, over the last month, I've had a fair few new subscribers, and it's all thanks to, I think, one person, and she's just the sweetest girl ever. And yeah, Bendy Michelle Garrett, she gave me a shout out. I wasn't expecting it. I was just sat there stitching away watching a video, and the next thing I know, she mentions my name. So yeah, I'd like to say welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy what you see, and welcome to everybody who's been subscribed to me for a while. It's great to see you again, and yeah, lots to share. In February, I have stitched on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 whips. Well, 9 projects. I've stitched on 9 projects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them were new starts, and then 4 original whips that I'd already had going. I have 2 finishes, 2, and one of them's an FFO. I've actually FFO'd something, so I'm well chuffed. I did it the weekend that Michelle Garrett did her annual, I don't know what she called it, I think it was the annual Flosstube finishing weekend. So yeah, I actually FFO'd something, so I'll show you that as well. And it is one that I finished this month. So let's get started. First of all, I've got a shout out. The shout out is for a lovely lady that somebody actually decided to, in my last, I think it was my last video, yeah, my last video, I asked for recommendations on Flosstubers. And a few people commented, and I went off and I watched and I followed, and now I'm subscribed to these people that everybody suggested. But there was one that stood out, and she is called Sparrow de Plume. So it's SPARROWDEPLUME, and I will link her in the description below. And yeah, she's wonderful. She has some really amazing projects. Her stitching is just stunning, and she does time-lapse videos on her project from start to finish, and she does them as individual videos, so you can see every project from start to finish in a time-lapse. She has a unicorn pattern that she's stitching at the moment, and it's not a unicorn pattern, and it's something that she wanted and she got. It is an actual unicorn, and it's absolutely stunning. So yeah, she doesn't have many subscribers, really. She doesn't have a lot of subscribers. So yeah, go out, go and support her and show her some love. She's got some wonderful projects. So yeah, so that's my shout out for this month, and let's get on to whips. So the last time I saw you, or the last time I did a video, I was working on Teresa Wensler's Magical Night. I will insert a picture here. I don't have a cover photo for it. I got it off Patterns Online. yeah, I'm going to talk about patterns online slightly for a little bit because I had a lot of trouble with it. It was, I mean, the website's fantastic, easy to find patterns and everything, that's great. The prices are really reasonable, no issue with the price whatsoever. The problem that I had was I only have my phone, so I record my Flosstube videos on my phone. I do everything on my phone, all my internet searching, everything that I do, everything that I buy on my phone. All my PDF downloads are on my phone. Yeah, I don't have a computer. So I bought Magical Night Theresa Wensler, downloaded it, and I couldn't open it. Because the only way you can open a pattern from Patterns Online is by using their software that's provided, and it isn't supported on mobile phones. So I was like, well, I didn't know that. I've bought a pattern and now I can't open it and use it. So what good is that? It's, you know, I didn't know that. I just assumed it was a PDF and like every other website that you buy off, and you know, I would be able to open it and use it. So I contacted Patterns Online, and they were absolutely wonderful. They got back to me within 24 hours and said, look, if you have any issues and you can't print it off, then we will definitely, you know, we will 100% give you a refund. That's not a problem, which was really nice of them, and I really appreciated that. In the end, I managed to find somebody, one of my friends who has a laptop, so he had to bring it round. So then I had to download the pattern again. Then I had to hook up my printer onto their internet, onto their computer. Then I had to get their computer synced up with my printer, and then obviously my broadband provider. And I faffed and faffed about for about 5 hours, but I managed to print it off in the end. So no issues with that. I've got it, and you know, I stitched on it. But I just thought, for a company, you know, that sells patterns, to not have it in a format where it can be used on mobile phones, I was just really surprised. But like I said, they did contact me and say, you know, if you wanted a refund, you can do. But I managed to sort it out. So yeah, sorry, that was really long-winded, but I just wanted to just, because if nobody else knows that, and you buy a pattern and you haven't got anybody that can help you print it out, then, you know, it's time wasted. And yeah, so anyway, so yeah, I've inserted a picture to show you what it will look like, and I've tried to fold this the best that I can fold it. I'm not doing it on the called for fabric. The called for fabric, if I can find out, is 25 count pewter Lugana. I picked 25 count, and it is Lugana, but I'm doing it on Silvery Moon, the colour Silvery Moon. And this is how far I got. So obviously this is the tail of the horse, one of the Pegasus, and then the legs are here, and then the saddle and all the reins are here, and then this is the part of the sleigh. It's slow stitching, as I'm sure you can imagine with the Theresa Wensler. It has absolutely tons of fractionals, so all this down here is fractionals, round here are fractionals, there's fractionals down here, all through the tail are fractionals. But I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said in my last video, I briefly touched on that, you know, it's held my attention, it's been challenging, it's been absolutely amazing to work on. I loved every stitch. It's slow going, and here are the Pegasus wings, and this is full of cry neck, and obviously loads of back stitching, which you'll be able to see from the picture that I inserted. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. So yeah, 5 days work, and that's where I got up to. And I'll show you this. This is, if you've never seen a Teresa Wensler, this is the list of floss. So you can see blend, blends, 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 all blends, blends, blends with 3. So yeah, I love it. Now I'm going to ask a question, because obviously a lot of you know that I'm fairly new to cross stitch. I started at the beginning of 2017. For them that don't know, that's when I started stitching. So I've only been stitching for just over 2 years. I have a question, and this might sound really stupid, but I want to ask it because I need to know, because I need it for Teresa Wensler's Magical Night. Cry neck. I've stitched with cry neck number 4 braid. I haven't stitched with cry neck number 8 braid. Blending filament. Is blending filament the same as cry neck number 4 or number 8 braid, or is it something completely different? Because there's a load of blending filament in this and I'm not too sure. Do you call it, because the blending filament is blended with other DMC colours, so is it just cry neck blended with a DMC, or is it something completely different than cry neck and it's still made by cry neck? So if you can let me know in the comments below, that would be absolutely fantastic. It probably sounds so stupid, but every time I search for blending filament, it comes up with just cry neck braid, you know, cry neck number 4, number 8 braid. So yeah, if somebody can let me know, because obviously I want to be able to start working on the wings of the Pegasus, and I can't until I know what blending filament actually is. So that'd be great if you could let me know. So that was start number 29. So on the 4th of February, which was the Monday, I started my 30th, yeah, number 30. I started number 30 of my 55 new starts. I can't believe we've got that far. And it was Michael Powell, and it was out of the mini cross stitch book, and it is the White Village. So it was this one, and I finished it. So that was my first finished. I had it set for 5 days. I don't know why I decided to set it for 5 days. I did all the cross stitching on the Monday. I had finished all the cross stitching, and then on the Tuesday morning I did the back stitching, and it was finished. So I will insert a picture here. And this picture is of the cross stitch finished, but without the back stitching, and then also with a picture of what it looks like with the back stitching, so you can see the difference between the two. Some patterns don't, when you do back stitching, don't really make much of a difference. Depends how much back stitching it is. In a Michael Powell, it makes a massive difference. It's just like, it's like a different piece. So I'll insert that picture here. And I also FFO'd it. So it was finished number 3 for the year, and I have FFO'd it. And what I did was, I got a cheap frame. I have this little book that I use for any of my small framing that I use, and it's just craft, it's just paper, card, different designs. And I got this from the pound shop, and the colour that I used for the mount was this one. And then what I did around the outside of the frame, I've got some stickers that I got from the pound shop as well when I bought that paper. And I got some of these, and I also had some of these resin flowers. Sorry for the glare. So I put some of them around the frame. It's not perfect, it's not laced, it's just popped in, but this is my finish. So yeah, couple of stickers there, and then a little resin flower, and there's my finish. So I'm super happy. It's an FFO, the first one in many years. Thanks to Bendy Michelle for her annual Flosstube, annual finishing weekend. So yeah, so thanks Michelle. I've got to finish. So yeah, so I did that. So because I finished on the Tuesday, I was like, well, what am I going to stitch on? So I pulled out the whip that I was working on in the evenings and the weekend, and I worked on that for the rest of the Tuesday. And then I had 3 days completely spare, which was a bonus. So I thought, well, what can I pull out? So I decided to pull out for them 3 days Dimensions Indian Peacock. I will insert a picture of where I was before I picked it up. And I did 3 days work on it, and this is where I am now. So I put the peacock's head in, I moved up, did some more of the background, and then worked over to the flowers, and then started doing the flowers as well. So I was really chuffed with that, because I wasn't expecting to, I didn't think I'd get to work on it over this month, and yeah, I managed to put it in 3 days. So it was a bit of a bonus, that. So yeah, so I worked on that for 3 days and then put it down, and then at the weekend I picked up the main piece that I've been working on all month, and that is the garden window, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So yeah, so I worked on that. So that brought us up to the 11th of February, Monday the 11th, and the next piece that I started was the Epic Pokemon piece. I don't have a cover photo for this, so I will insert a picture here. I worked on it for 5 days. This piece of fabric is huge. I'm doing it on 16 count Ada. It's a free pattern off online. If you would like to see it, or if you would like to stitch it yourself and download it, if you just Google search Epic Pokemon pattern, it'll come up straight away. It'll be your first thing. Like I said, it's a free pattern. It's the Generation 1 Pokemon. I mentioned I was going to start watching the cartoon again from beginning. I did. I only got 5 episodes into it because I was really struggling to stitch and watch it, because all I wanted to do was watch it. So I only watched the first 5, but this is how much I have done. So I'm not going to go into what all the Pokemons are called, because if you're not into Pokemon, then it's not really, you know, that interesting. I'll just be telling you names of things, and it won't really mean anything. But yeah, I managed to get a couple of the Pokemon done. I really need to get a lap frame, because I was really struggling with the amount of fabric that's in this to stitch on it. So it is rather big. I'll tell you the stitch count. The stitch count is 256 wide and 450 stitches high. So it is higher than it is wider. But yeah, it's that's why it's called Epic Pokemon pattern, I suppose, really, isn't it? But yeah, enjoyed stitching on it. Probably won't come out again this year. My plan really is for this year is to try and finish. I will finish my 55 new starts up until August, and then from August to December I'm going to concentrate on trying to finish as much as I possibly can. For the end of the year, I'd like to try and have less than 40 whips by the end of the year, and then next year I'll be focusing on my full coverage pieces, because obviously I've not touched them other than when I first started them. So that's my plan for next year. So then we got up to the 18th of February and I started one of my set of 4 that I've been working on, the trees. I finished summer and I finished spring, and then in my previous videos I finished summer last month, so I decided to start the autumn tree. And this will be what it looks like. It's a kit from China. It's on 11 count Ada. I am working on the fabric provided because it's a printed pattern. I am using the floss that's provided. And it's not going to be that easy to see because obviously it's printed fabric. But this is so stiff. It's like glass, cardboard, and this is what I've managed to stitch. So I have stitched all this pink here, round here, and the bottom bit here, and these 2 here. So that's as far as I got. 5 days of stitching, a couple of thousand stitches. So yeah, so pleased with the progress. I don't know when it'll come back out, but yeah, I finally started it. So I've got this one left to do, and then I've got winter, and then they're done, they're completely finished, and that's all 4 of them. So yeah, that was that. And then on the 25th of this month I started the autumn, it's not called autumn, I found out what it's called Christmas wreath. I'll insert a picture here. That's by Jerome Jones. I can't find what magazine issue it is out of. I know it's not an old one. I've googled and searched and I can't find out what issue it is. But I do also know that it's on Jerome Jones' Etsy shop, so you can get it off there. Yeah, I'm not going to show it yet. I've only worked on it Monday and Tuesday, but I'm loving it at the moment. And I've hardly stitched on it because I have a confession to make. I started watching Game of Thrones on Monday. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I'm sorry, I've seen the first series. Sorry, just 1 second. I'd seen the first series when it first came out, and I'd not watched any of the others. And then because I know that the last series is coming out in April, the 14th of April I think it starts, I decided I was going to start watching it. I am addicted. I have watched the first 2 seasons in 2 days, and I can't stitch while I'm watching it because I'm glued to it. So my stitching this week has completely suffered. I'm trying to limit watching it. I'm trying to just watch it when I'm eating, when I have my tea, and a couple of episodes before I go to bed. That's not working. What's happened is I've ended up watching an episode when I'm eating, and then I've watched episodes up until I go to bed, and I've not stitched in the evenings. So my stitching has suffered slightly, and that needs rectifying. So yeah, but it is good. It's really good. I would recommend if anybody's seen it, and I'm sure everybody in the world has seen it except for me, but if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it. It's really good. So yeah, just complete rabbit hole there. But yeah, that's what's happened this week. So that's all my starts for this week. This month. It's all my starts for this month. So for the weekends and the evenings, I only have 2 other pieces that I've worked on because I started working at the beginning of the month on My Garden Window by Susan Bates. I'll insert a picture of what it looks like because I haven't got the magazine in front of me. I didn't pick it up. So I will insert that picture. And I worked on it up until, except from the 3 days where I worked on Indian Peacock, I worked on it from the end of the month, from the last time I did that video, to the 22nd of this month, and I finished it. So I'll insert a picture where I was, if I already haven't. I can't remember if I just said that I had or not, so I'll insert a picture if I haven't. And I even ironed it for you. It's not fantastically ironed, but I did iron it. And let's just fold it a little bit. And here it is. So I worked on it every weekend. I worked on it in the evenings. I did the back stitching as I went. And I absolutely love this. Now, when I started this, I thought it was just called Garden Window. And it turns out it's a set of 4, or one of a set of 4, and I didn't know that. And the only reason I figured it out was because Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch contacted me and said, I have a winter one of these. Would you like me to send it to you? And I said, if you don't mind, that'd be absolutely fantastic. That'd be great. So Andrea from I Heart Cross Stitch, just out of the blue, emailed me and said, would you like it? And I said, that'd be great. She's popped it in the post and it's on its way. So because it was a winter one, I thought, well, how many more does Susan Bates have? So I had a look online and figured out that this is actually spring. So this is the spring window. Andrea is sending me the winter window. I have the autumn window in another magazine, which I'll show you. So this is the autumn one. And she has the summer one on her Etsy store, Susan Bates Etsy store, and it's now in my wish list because obviously I have to do all 4. So the reason it's not framed is because I want to frame all 4 of them at once when I finish them. It's on 16 count Ada using DMC floss, the colourful colours. I haven't changed any of the colourful colours. I can't remember the stitch count. I think it's 127 by 130 something. So yeah. So that was as far, I was going to say that's as far as I got with that, but I finished it. So yeah. So absolutely love it. And I can't wait to do the other 4, the other 3 even. So yeah, well chuffed. So that's finish number 4. Finish number 4 for 2019. So yeah, really happy with that. And then after I finished that, I worked on from the 22nd up until last night. Well, I say last night, I didn't work on it because obviously I was watching Game of Thrones. Oh God, I feel so guilty. And I stitched on Jane Netley Mayhew's elephants. I was going to say I'll insert a picture here, but I can show you it from in here. That's what it looks like. Like I've said in my previous videos, Jess Marie's doing this one. And I will insert a picture of what it looked like when I picked it up. And this is where I am up to now. I've got one thread hanging. So I started to fill in the tusk of the baby elephant. I worked down further on the leg of this elephant, and then I started to fill in some of the grass as well. So that's where I got up to on that. So that's all my stitching for February. That's everything I stitched on, which is quite a lot really, especially with that finish of the spring window. So I'm going to pause it here now. I'm going to put some stuff away and then I will be back with plans. Okay. Alright, so I'm back, put stuff away and we can continue with plans. So we're getting close to the end. I can't believe I've managed to get so far in this 55 new starts. Yeah, I'm really chuffed that I've managed to get this far. So we're on the downward slope. Start number 34 will be on the 4th, which Monday coming up, and I will be, it's a book pattern and it is out of the Oriental Odyssey Across Stitches book by Joan Elliott. I have already started the Wisdom one. I'm going to be doing all the 3 geishas. So the next one that I am going to be starting is Beauty, which is this one. And now I'm going to be doing it on, and this is some of the fabric that was gifted to me by Beth. I'm still floored by her generosity of the aid that she gave me. I'm going to be doing it on 16 count in pewter. So that's the colour that I'm going to be doing it in. So I'll show you that again. Trying to multitask. I believe us women are supposed to be good at this. At the moment I'm failing terribly, but yeah. So that's what I'm going to be doing it on. And then I am going to at some point start the Grace Lady, which is this one, and I will be stitching it on this fabric. And I don't know what fabric, the colour of this fabric it is. Again, this was gifted to me by Beth, so that is the one that I'm going to be doing it on. And if you haven't seen my other videos, I first started Wisdom, which is my favourite out of the 3. They're all stunning, all 3 of them are stunning, but my favourite is the Wisdom one. And I started Wisdom on 16 count white Ada. So my plan is to do obviously the Wisdom one on 16 count white Ada. I'm doing the I forgot what it's called, the Beauty on the pewter, and then I'm doing the Grace one on the green. And my plan is to have them all framed in exactly the same frame, the 3 of them, because I'm going to put them together, and each one is going to have a different colour mat corresponding to the ones that I've already done. So one of them will have a white mat, one of them will have a pewter mat, or the closest to pewter that I can get, and then the other one will have a green mat, so that they will all correspond to all of them. So, and I can't wait to get all 3 of them done. I think they're going to look stunning on my wall. I love anything Oriental, so geishas, dragons, lotus flowers, anything like that I absolutely love. So I'm really chuffed. I'm really looking forward to getting all these 3 finished. I'm hoping to at least get Wisdom finished by the end of the year. The other 2, I'm not going to, other than starting them, I'm not going to work on them until I finish Wisdom. So once I've started them for my 5 days, they'll be put away until Wisdom's finished. But once my 55 new starts are finished, I'm going to be pulling out Wisdom and trying to get a finish for the year. So yes, that's my first start for March. Start number 35, which will be on the 11th, is an Etsy pattern. I haven't got a cover photo, so I will insert a picture here. And it's Marie Antoinette. The Etsy seller, I will put a name here across the bottom because I can't remember it off the top of my head right now. So yeah, so I'm going to be doing that on Ada, obviously, probably Magic Guide, which I don't have any to buy, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to starting that. I've got some huge patterns, some massive patterns coming up. All my big coverage ones are going to be coming up. This is 252 stitches wide by 360 stitches high. So yeah, looking forward to that. So that's that one. On the 18th of March, which will be start number 36, is a kit start, and I will be starting Dimensions. And this is a flower of Paris. Sorry for the glare. I bought this off Amazon. I absolutely love this. I have... I'll share. It's going to take me absolutely years to do this, but I will share my idea of what I want to do. So in my kitchen I have two complete walls that are white and nothing on them. There's no units, there's nothing on them. And what I have is I have a clock. I will take a picture and I will insert it here. And I love Paris. I have Paris all over my bathroom. I will insert some pictures here so you can see that as well. And yeah, I love Paris. I live in a flat, so I don't have a garden. I don't get to sit outside, which is a real shame because I love being outside. I love nature. I love birds. I love bird watching. I love anything green, flowers, the lot. I absolutely love it. But I don't have one. I don't have a garden. So my idea is to stitch lots of different flowers and create a gallery wall on both of the two walls. And in between, I'm going to decorate with fake flowers. I'm going to get a kitchen table to put in front of it, and it's going to be like my own little private garden. So I have a lot of flowers to stitch. I've stitched a daffodil and I've stitched some snowdrops in my previous videos, that finishes that I've done out of the flower cross stitch book, which I also did a video of a flip through. So I've done them too, and then this is going to go on that wall as well. It will take me years to do, but I'm going to love every single minute of it and enjoy what it's going to look like, and planning on what I'm going to stitch. So there's this. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll be starting that. And then on the 25th, which will be start number 37, I've already showed you this in my video already. And I will be starting the autumn window by Susan Bates. So yeah, so that's my plans for March, and that's pretty much everything. Sorry, I've got a hair. That's pretty much everything. Haul. I didn't buy anything. I've not been on eBay. That's why I've not even looked on eBay. I have stayed as far away from eBay as I possibly can. I haven't bought anything. So the only thing I've bought is obviously floss for the projects that I'm starting. And other than that, I haven't bought anything. No patterns. Don't get me wrong. I've seen patterns. I haven't been on eBay, but I've been on Etsy and I've been on My Bobbin. And yeah, my Etsy is getting out of control. I have like 150 odd items saved in my wish list. I have now, because I've discovered My Bobbin after watching Teresa Little Stitcher and Miss Also Crafter talk about My Bobbin website, and if you haven't seen it, please go on it. It's amazing. It's Russian designers, Russian kits, really reasonable price. Yeah, and now I have 130 odd items in my wish list on that. I love Russian cross stitch. They've got some stunning stuff. Yeah, my plan was, when I did these 55 starts, was to get my projects, the ones that I wanted to stitch, lower, so I didn't have so many things that I wanted to start. And yeah, it's not even touched. Starting these 55 things, I haven't even touched how much I want to stitch. But I'm sure everybody's like that. We all just want to stitch everything. Stitch all the things, all of them. So yeah, so I haven't bought any patterns. I've been really good. I don't know if that's going to last next month, but I haven't bought anything up to now. So yeah, little bit of a life update. It's glorious sunshine outside. The weather's mental. It's absolutely crazy weather. I've been going out more. I've been going on the bus a lot more. I've been on the bus a couple of times on my own now. Going outside is getting a little bit easier each and every time I do it. I just keep plodding along. But yeah, things are going well. So thank you for spending some time with me today. It's not as long as some of my other videos, probably because I haven't got any haul. I'm really looking forward to March. I'm really looking forward to getting some stitching done. If I stop watching Game of Thrones, I'm probably not. I am going to watch it, but once it's watched, then I can get back onto stitching. So yeah, I hope everybody's well. I hope you all have a wonderful March. I hope that you get lots of stitching done, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye. Bye-bye.